أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد Amma ba'd, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I welcome you all to another class of TAJWEED, and inshallah on this week we are going to discuss on the verse number 27 of Suratul Jinn. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إلا من ارتضى من رسول فإنه يسلك من بين يديه ومن خلفه رصدا. MashaAllah, after we've had the recitation of the verse, I will now identify the tajweed rules governing this particular ayah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Illa. The first rule that we can identify here is what is known as al-mad al-asli. Al-mad al-asli, that is basic elongation, and we knew that it has the duration of only 1 second, that is 2 haraka. So you have to elongate the sound of this lam for the duration of only 1 second. Illa, do you understand? Then let's move further. Illa manir irtada. I said manir irtada. The letter ra has been heavily sound, which is known as at-tafkhim, is applied on ra whenever it possesses fatha or dhamma, and also it is also applied to ra whenever it has sakin, that is when it is vowelless. There is no fatha or dhamma on it, and at the same time it is preceded by a letter that has fatha and dhamma. Do you understand? So then again, at-tafkhim, that is heavy pronunciation of this letter ra, is also applied whenever the letter has a temporary sukun due to pause and preceded by either fatha or sukun. For example, you are reciting and you want to stop on ra, then the letter that comes before it happens to have fatha and dhamma. You know, as long as you are stopping on a letter with a vowel, the vowel will change to a vowelless letter. Do you understand? So again, at-tafkhim is also applied to ra when it has a permanent sukun and is immediately preceded by a temporary kasra, which with the condition that the temporary kasra and the ra are in 2 separate ways. So as we can see in this surah, which is in the verse number 27, the first kasra, which is in the word man, so that it is originally man. So if you recall on our rules concerning the union of 2 sukun, so on the explanation we are going to understand that the first word, which is the kasra on this first word, that is mani, right? It is a temporary kasra. Do you understand? And it is separated by al-hamzatul wasl, and then the second letter, which happens to be ra, which is having the sakin. You understand? So whenever you come across such, so you are going to heavily pronounce the sound of a letter ra. So it's illa manir irtada. Do you understand? And as I said, it is separated when the temporary kasra comes in a separate word which is not in place, which is a separate, when the temporary kasra and the raw are in two separate words, as I said, and the first word I said is man, right, which is illa manir tada, right, is illa man, right, then you know it is second, and there is another second that is coming behind it. So in the rules governing the union of two sukun, so what needs to be done there is that the first second has it will carry the vowel kasra. So that is why we have illa manir tada. Do you understand? So now what has been done here is what is known as at-tafkhim. Do you understand? At-tafkhim, that is a Hebrew pronunciation of a letter ra. So at the same time, in this word, which is illa manir tada, the tada has been elongated, and this type of elongation is what is known as al-mad al-asli, which has a duration of only 1 second. So let's move further. إلا من ارتضى من رسول فإنه يسلك من بين يديه. So I said mir rasul, that is we've not had the sound of the ra or of the noon. We've not had the sound of the noon, which in this case the rule that is governing the letter noon here, noon sakina, is what is known as idghamun kamil. Idghamun kamil, that is perfect assimilation. Do you understand? Perfect assimilation. And we know that the two letters that belongs to that of idghamun kamil include letter ra and letter lam. So whenever any of these appears immediately after nun sakina or tanween, you are going to assimilate the nun or the tanween into that letter, and the sound of this, the ra will be heard, or that of lam. You understand? Illa man irtada min rasulin fa innahu yasluk. I said rasul, right? When I was reciting, I elongated the sound of the sin, letter sin, which is the type of elongation here again is al-mad al-asli. It has a duration of only 1 second. So we have again rasulin fa innahu yasluk. I say rasulin fa inna, right? The tanween, that is the rule that is governing this tanween here, is al-ikhfa, that is a concealment. You understand? That is a ikhfa'un haqiqi, because the letter of ikhfa appears immediately after the tanween, and what needs to be done there, you are going to conceal the tanween, and then you couple it with nasalization. You understand? So rasulin fa inna, that is fa inna. I'm referring to the nasalization which is done to the nun shadda, and we've talked about the rules governing nun shadda and as well as mim shadda, and what has been done here is a clear pronunciation of the nasalization of the nun, which is idharun bi gunnatin. Do you understand? So whenever you come across such, you are going to do nasalization for the duration of only 2 seconds. Do you understand? So you are going to do it, and I've explained the difference between that of idghamun naqis and that of idharun bi gunnatin in our previous week. So for this one, is independent. So, and that of idghamun naqis, that one is dependent. Do you understand? So fa innahu yasluk, I say fa innahu, the letter ha here, which is the masculine ha of pronoun, and the type of elongation that we've done to that, to the masculine ha of pronoun, which is this is al-maddu sila, right? And this is the type of silatu is this one, that is al-maddu silatu al-qasira. This is al-maddu silatu al-qasira, which has a duration of only 1 second, as that of al-maddu al-asli is. So let's move further. فَإِنَّهُ يَسْلُكُ مِن بَيْنِ يَدَيْهِ. I said مِن بَيْنِ يَدَيْهِ. This is another rule governing nun sakina. In this case, this is what is known as al-iqlab, that is alteration of a nun into that of into mim sakina. So the nun sakina has been changed in place of it has been replaced with mim sakina. In this case, once you are doing the nasalization, you are going to leave a space in between your two lips to differentiate it from others. Do you understand? So because letter ba is the letter of al-iqlab, that is in case of the rules governing nun sakina and tanween. So, and the rule that we can identify here is what is known as al-iqlab, that is alteration. Min bayni yadayhi. Do you understand? فَإِنَّهُ يَسْلُكُ مِن بَيْنِ يَدَيْهِ وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِ رَصَدًا. I said وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِ. وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِ. The clear pronunciation of this nun, that is the nun sakina, which is known as the rule that we can identify is what is known as al-izhar, that is manifestation. And what type of izhar can we see here? That is, if you are to differentiate it from the other izhar types we have, this is al-izhar al-halqi, al-izhar al-halqi. It got its nickname from those letters that belongs to this group, those that are emanating from the throat, where we have the letter ha, letter kha, we have letter ain, we have letter ha, and then al-hamza. So those letters, which are the letters of the throat, so that is from where it got its nickname as al-izhar al-halqi. So is a title given to those letters, al-halqi. You understand? So whenever you come across whenever you come across any of these letters, when they appear immediately after nun sakina, you are going to clearly pronounce the sound of the nun without nasalization. That is why I said وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِ رَصَدًا. Do you understand? Then I said وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِ رَصَدًا. This is another example of the ha, the masculine ha of pronoun, which we've earlier identified. And this is another example, which is al-maddu silatu al-qasira. Do you understand? It has a duration of only 1 second. 1 second. So I said rasada, rasada. The dal, which has been elongated, and as we can see, it is having tanween. But in this case, this is the rule that is governing it here is what is known as al-madul iwad. So al-madul iwad, it become active whenever you pause on a tanween, that is the fatihatan, and at the same time there is a letter of elongation immediately after that letter. So the sound of the tanween won't be heard as long as you are stopping there. You understand? Or as long as you pause on that particular word, then it will change to a single fatha. Then you now make the sound of the al-mad. That is the duration is the same as that of al-mad al-asli, That is only 1 second. You understand? That is 2 haraka. So here you say rosoda, not rosodan. Do you understand? So rosoda. Inshallah, with this, we've come to the end of today's class. Inshallah, when next we meet, we are going to be discussing on another surah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.